The most impressive thing is when you compare the Earth with the neighboring planets. You compare them with Mars on one side and Venus on the other. And in fact, it's been called humorously the Goldilocks problem. Mars is too cold and Venus is too hot and the Earth is just right. If you do that comparison, you find something absolutely remarkable. Venus and Mars both have about 98% carbon dioxide in their atmosphere, CO2 in their atmosphere, very high quantities. And they have about 2% nitrogen, and they have trace amounts of oxygen. So they're in some ways very similar. Their temperatures are very different, but in those ways they're very similar. And you look at the Earth, and the Earth is bizarre. It has virtually no carbon dioxide, 0.03%. In fact, the big argument is between 0.0322 and 0.0321. It's in there. The big argument about the big CO2 atmosphere. And the Earth also has much too much oxygen, and oxygen is explosive. Everybody knows it exploded and destroyed the Apollo astronauts. It is hard to believe, from an astronomical point of view, that the temperature is simply by accident maintained constant. We prefer to believe that there's an active temperature regulating system, and when we look around, we see that it is really the sum of the organisms and their activities that have the potential for regulating the temperature. Organisms produce gases that can absorb radiation. They change surface temperatures. They produce clouds by producing lots of water that make clouds that change surfaces from dark to white, and so on. And we see lots of potential for the organisms to regulate temperature, and we believe actually that temperature is also part of the Gaian regulation system. Gaia is run by the sum of the biota, and therefore you can lose enormous numbers and great diversity with mass extinctions, but you never come anywhere near losing everything. And you certainly don't lose the major groups of bacteria, ever. They've been in continuous existence, and we think it's the major groups of bacteria that actually are running the Gaian system. So in a sense, these, whether they're caused by impact or whatever they're caused by, these great extinctions are tests of Gaia, and the system bounces back.